Welcome back everybody. Today we talk again about thumb rings, the basic information about thumb rings, which styles, which materials, which would be the best for you, and so on. So I guess I don't have to explain the purpose of a thumb ring, but let's start with the material. What you can get is first thumb protectors. They are not really rings, even if they are round in leather, and this is some kind of soft leather. It's a basic thing which we always recommend for the beginning because these are usually a bit adjustable. Then you get these hard leather thumb rings like this one from Bekir Büyüksindir, which is hard, but it's still leather, so very nice. Then you get thumb rings made out of wood, like this one made by Danny. It's the shark one because of this eye. It's a quite nice one. I think it's walnut, if I'm not mistaken. Then of course you have this big variety on plastic thumb rings. Then it goes further into the natural materials. Again, you have horn and antler. These are already a bit more on the expensive side. And last but not least, you have then the metal ones. These are also kind of the basics. So leather, wood, plastic, horn, antler, and metal. Now let's talk about the design. The most basic designs are rings like this. This is a ring from Turkey. So it's an Ottoman ring, so to say. It's only too small for me, so I can't show you. But it is nice, decorated and stuff. But the design, very flat, a short lip, and no groove for the string. Same like this Hungarian ring. Has a little longer lip compared to this one. But no groove here. Benefit of the longer lip, of course, you have a little, does it one fit? Yeah, that one fits. You have a little more protection on your thumb, so you don't expose that much of your skin just in case your release is not that good. It goes further. This is then the one in horn, which is quite with a long lip. See that almost my whole thumb is covered. So here the chance that I get that the string hits me here is already a little lower. Then we have, to make life easier, this is a cheap Chinese one, doesn't fit my thumb anymore. They have a small hook here, so you place the string inside, so the string doesn't pinch your skin behind you, which could always happen with all of these rings. The string is behind the ring and can pinch your skin there. This string prevents you from being pinched because the ring sits in this groove. There are then, of course, these hybrid models, I call them now. They have hard material on the ring, but then they have this leather strap. It's mostly common in the Ottoman rings. So you have here, so you have here the same protection. The string goes back there and comes on this leather and doesn't pinch your skin, which makes your life way more comfortable. Then you get this little more specific ones like the Spur Ring. Has a medium long lip. The string rests already behind in this small part here, so string pinching is a little less. And you have the spur where you can put the arrow slightly away from the string, but I did a video about the Spur Ring too. Then we have these two. What do they have in common? They don't look very similar designed. These are both shallow hook. So all of these ones we had just right now are deep hook thumb rings where you really have to curl your thumb. This one, like the Gao Ying, you don't curl your thumb. You simply place your thumb almost straight on the middle finger and press the string in the groove of the ring, which gives you a way shorter release way. And this one is the same principle. This ring is made by Fletcher. It's antler, and he has here this big surface on the back, and then you can put the string behind here and you have the same principle. You don't need to bend the thumb that much. Then there are these massive constructions like the King Ruy ring. I think right now it's out of stock anyway, you can't buy it anymore. quite massive ring, but has the spur again. So, and this is a really massive thing to go where you place the string there. So it's a little massive. And of course, last but not least, we have the cylindrical ones, the Manchurian ones, which you wear like this. They are again shallow hook, so you don't bend the thumb that much. You simply place the ring on your middle finger, and that's also, you don't need to curl the thumb around, which you always need to do with all these rings. You always need to curl the thumb that much around that the string stays behind the ring. So with all these ones, you end up like this. Deep hook, shallow hook, like this. See the difference in thumb angle? Now we shoot them. So these are the design differences. So these were now the major design differences in the thumb rings, and now we see how they shoot. And to get the most unique design directly out of the way, the Manchurian thumb ring, you really want to shoot this with a Manchu bow, or at least with a bow which has a very long draw length, because for this one, this ring is made. So you really want to have a long draw bow. You don't want to shoot a short Turkish bow or something with a Manchu ring. And now look, Manchurian thumb ring, you simply bring the string behind the ring and you rest the thumb on your middle finger, and index finger points straight. Oops, string is too thin here, and the middle finger simply points down and holds the arrow in place. And then you really can draw without, look, you see the angle of my thumb? It's almost straight. You can draw and you can shoot. The release is quite crisp. You need to get used to it. So this ring needs to fit properly. And you see it sits directly center on this joint. In this way you hold the ring, so you simply bend the thumb slightly, and that keeps the ring from falling off. Still, the string can pinch you back there. They were made in ancient times. The string was 8 millimeters or something, so there was not a big problem. Newer strings are 2-3 millimeters, so they can still cut a little back there. But for a Manchu, shoot a cylindrical ring, make sure it fits properly. The basic ones, like this one, it's a little longer lid, but it's like all Turkish and mostly common, this kind of ring, where you don't have a groove or something for the string, so the string still ends up on the skin. This works then for every kind of bow. See, you place the string behind the ring, curl the thumb around as much as needed to hold the string in place. So actually the surface of the ring has kind of 90 degree or a little more to the string, so you have control and you really can pull back, and then you secure your thumb, you draw, you shoot. Easy, you get easily used to it. So this is the most basic design when you shoot an Ottoman bow or something like this. Or when you see the difference, this is the one Beki Büyükşehir with this leather thingy on the back. Then you see already the leather protects me, the string doesn't touch me. And then same principle, I need to find the angle here to hold the string in place. This one works really easy. I like this one. Works nice. This one is a little big, but it's very lightweight, so you don't feel it at all. You don't feel that you have something on your hand. Then we have, as example, the Spur Ring. Same principle as the other, a bit longer lip, but then we have the spur, and the spur is simply here to, hope you see it. When I have the ring here, I simply, that the string does not touch my skin, I can rotate a little and lift the arrow away from my skin so the string doesn't pinch me. And then these work quite well. Ones with a groove, let's say the one from Danny, has a small groove where you can rest your string so it doesn't pinch you or hurt you or whatever. The string simply rests in this small groove. You find the angle you need to have to hold the string in place. Then it's nice. Still, this ring is very short, so when you don't have a snappy release, the string will still hit you here, but a matter of practice. And then we come to the most famous, most hyped Cello Hook. What means Cello Hook? Same like Manchu, I only do this to hold the string in place. I don't curl my thumb all the way around. So you keep the thumb almost straight, you see that? And with this big surface, I hold the ring on my middle finger. And it's a very interesting way. In the beginning, it's very tricky. So when you start this, start with a low draw weight and short distance, because what can happen is you don't press enough and the string comes off while you draw. So it's a little tricky. So this one needs a lot of practice, but once you get used to it, my thumb is almost straight. I simply press the surface of the ring against my middle finger, and then the release is, I think, the most crisp of all of them. The string slides forward. I don't have my thumb too far in, so it's already out of the way, so the string slides there, doesn't interfere with anything here. So I like the idea of a Cello Hook a lot. It only needs a lot of practice. They require a lot of practice, but once you get used to it with Cello Hook, I think it's a very interesting way to shoot. And this one is almost the same like the Gao Yin from the principle. You see, I press the flat part here against my middle finger, and the string rests in this small groove behind the ring. Should make your life easier. Needs practice, definitely. So it's not as easy accomplished as a normal ring. But once you get the hang of it, see, I don't need to bend my thumb that much. It's almost straight, but I can still hold comfortably the string in position and can shoot. There the lid is quite small, so it can happen, because I have such beefy thumbs, that the string still touch you here a little, but it's a matter of practice and a matter of proper release, which I didn't do right now. Let you hold this in place. And then it's, you know, when you do your L, it's no problem at all. So again, the Cello Hook, because it's quite fun. Once you get used to it, the Cello Hook is really fun. So this one is the Gao Yin from Custom Thumb Rings. Alibow has one, which I don't have here right now. A Cello Hook works the same way, and I did of almost all these rings videos, and I put them in the description so you can check it out. So don't do the mistake and curl your finger around when you shoot a Cello Hook thumb ring. Keep the thumb almost straight and put the big surface of the ring on your middle finger. Your thumb is almost straight. You only need to figure a way that you still have a relaxed wrist, and then it works very good. As said, it takes a little practice. Which ring is now the right ring for you? First of all, it depends which material you would like to have. So as said, you can have them in wood. They are the most tricky because they tend to break easy when the wood has some crack which you don't see while you make it, and then they simply break quite easy. But we even had some broken plastic rings. Can always happen. So first of all, you need to know the material. If you're a vegetarian, you most probably don't want to have a horn ring or an antler ring. If you don't mind, these ones are very fancy, very nice, very sleek. This one weighs almost nothing and is one of the most durable ones I ever saw. The antler one has the benefit, because horn is closed. It's like plastic, doesn't absorb anything. The antler is a little rough inside, and with these pores, so even when you start sweating, this one will respond differently to the humidity of your fingers. So I think these ones in this regard are the best, the antler rings. That's why they use them mostly. You can have this hard leather one, which is I like a lot because it weighs nothing and it's very comfortable. So generally one can say the bigger the sides are, the more surface the ring has on the finger, the less painful they are. So when you shoot one of these very thin ones I showed you in the beginning, or this one, and you start directly with a high poundage, you feel the thin part cutting a little earlier into your skin or causing a little pain than the big ones. So this is the other consideration. If you want to go painless, one of these massiver ones, they have massive side width, they are less painful. The thin ones in the beginning are a little more painful. And then it's really up to you. As said before, shoot a Manchu ring, or you draw some Dunhuang or 35 inches or something. This ring is nice. Cello Hook, as said. It was, I think, the first Cello Hook ring ever made and one of the most common ones. But make sure it fits properly and don't do the mistake. put it completely back as you would do with another thumb ring, it doesn't work. So this ring really needs to be center on your joint, and then with this slightly movement you hold the ring in place. So the string ends up kind of in half of this part of your finger, so between the two joints in the half. Gives it the benefit that when you draw the same, you already draw a little more, because the string is whatever, a quarter of an inch further back. Quite comfortable, you get easily used to it. And one of the big benefits, this ring, it doesn't matter, you can rotate it and it will always work. What can happen with other rings, or what will happen with other rings? Sometimes when you shoot, they get out of alignment, and you need to put them back in place again, because this is the only direction this ring will work. When you have the ring like this, it doesn't work. So here, when you have whatever, because you will reload and pinch the ring comes a little sideways, you need to fix it and you need to shoot again. Matter of training. This one doesn't mind. Even if you throw it, twist it, whatever, it's always, you only need to make sure that it's on your thingy there. It's always in the same position because it's cylindrical, so quite smart. There's still one Turkish book out where you see them placing the thumb ring the other way around, and they tell you to shoot like this. Please don't do that. This book was made most probably either by a complete idiot, or sometimes in warfare they do it, they give the information out that the enemy can have it, and then the enemy tries to shoot like this, and this can really cause big problems to your thumb. So always make sure that this lid, however big it is, points outwards and not inward. So you always put it on perpendicular to the thumb, push it behind the first joint, turn it 90 degrees, bring it forward, and then the ring should not go off when it's perfectly sized. Then it's fine and you're good to go. So always make sure the lid points to the target and not to you, and then you're safe. That's my quick overview, I don't know if it was quick, overview of the thumb rings I have right now. Of course there are way more out, and as said, I put the links to the individual tests of these ones in the description, so you can check them out. And I did even Vermil archery, which one is the best there, which was for me the victory, but it's always personal. You should try different thumb rings, in my opinion, that you find the one which works for you. What I can tell, if you go Cello Hook, this one is a little tricky but works. The Gao Ying Cello Hook and the Alibow Cello Hook work pretty well, so both are good. And for the rest, this is right now my favorite, this hard leather one from Becky Books India. You don't feel it that it's on it, it doesn't distract me at all. Others I simply feel there, and I don't like this feeling. As you know me, I'm a bare thumb shooter. And of course I forgot the major one, the military Korean thumb ring, but for me this is not a thumb ring anymore, this is already a release aid, because you don't press, or you don't hold your thumb anymore, or you don't press the sidewall like a Cello Hook on your finger, which simply is what a thumb ring is doing. Here you already hold the thumb ring in place, so you have like a release aid. You see, you put this nipple over there, and then you really can pull here with 2 fingers or 1.5 fingers, safe and sound. Oops. And shoot heavy bows. Makes sense, but as said, for me this is not a thumb ring anymore. And even in classifications, when you go to tournaments and you want to use this ring, make sure that they don't see this one already as a release aid. I hope this information was helpful. I thank you very much for watching, and of course I catch you in the next one. Thank you.